What's up, y'all? So today I'm gonna be doing quarantine story time of whenever I gave birth to my daughter. Um, she just turned 10 months, and I haven't done the story yet on my birth with her, and it was like the most craziest one I've had. I feel like so. Um, you know, so like just like a little backstory. My last son, or my second child, I should say, because my daughter is my third. So my second child, I had him at 34 weeks. So there was like some question of like me being high risk and things like that due to the history of that, because my water had broke randomly with him. Like at 34 weeks, it just randomly broke. So, but basically with my daughter, everything pretty much went good in my pregnancy until I ended up having a car accident. And then I started kind of having problems with me dilating super quick and things like that. At around like 34, 35 weeks, around that mark, I was 4 centimeters dilated. So that's not good, being that I was that early. So they were trying to make sure the baby stayed in, so I got put on bed rest. So I couldn't work, and the hours that me and my husband worked, we worked overnight. So like we would go in at 9 p.m. and we would get off at 7 a.m. So I wasn't working anymore, but he still was, which comes into play later. So like leading up to like around the time I was being closer to being due, I ended up having a dream one day, or one night I should say, because whatever. But I ended up having a dream that she was going to be born on Father's Day. And it was crazy because my husband was talking about this is my first girl. It would be cool if I could have her born on Father's Day. He was like over the moon, like excited about having her. So, and then it was like either that day or the next day, sometime in between there, his mom ended up calling me. My husband's mom called me talking about she just knew the baby was gonna come on Father's Day, and this and that. And it was just like weird because I just had that dream. I didn't tell nobody but him about that dream, so I was like, that's weird. So time fast forwards, whatever, and on June 15th, which was the day before Father's Day, I went to the hospital, like ready to have her. Like I wasn't really, like, I don't know, it's just like my gut was telling me like, you're about to have this baby. So I went to the hospital begging them to induce me. They didn't do it, whatever. So I went home, like, whatever, I'll probably be back tomorrow. So tomorrow rolls around, which is the 16th, which is Father's Day. No, that's not how it happened. This is the 14th, so the 15th rolls around. It was the 15th now. And I went to the hospital on the 14th. My bad, I got my dates mixed up. Yeah, I went to the hospital on the 14th, ready to have her. They sent me home, so the 15th rolls around. And, we proceeded about like our normal day. And then as the nighttime rolls around, that's the time that we clean up everything, like the kitchen clean and all that. I asked my husband to do the kitchen. So, cause I didn't want to, I was tired. I didn't know it, but I was in labor. Didn't know it. But I didn't want to clean up the kitchen. He went to sleep instead of cleaning the kitchen. So I took a shower. I started getting what I thought was Braxton Hicks because it didn't hurt at all. So I thought I was just Braxton Hicks. So I was like, whatever. It's just, ain't no point in trying to stay up and wait it out. Ain't no point. I might as well just clean up and go to bed. So, because I just didn't want to get sent home again, like from the hospital. So I get out the shower, I start cleaning up, and during this whole entire time, I keep getting these Braxton Hicks, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, my gut was telling me something was going on, but the fact that it didn't hurt, I was just like, it don't add up. So I finished cleaning the kitchen, and then I had walked into my mom's room, and I told her, I was like, I'm getting contractions. And I guess I had like a scared look on my face or something, because later on she told me, she was like, I knew you was serious, because she was like, he was scared or something, like he was finna cry. So I guess I just had like a certain look in my eyes or whatever. But I had, like, after I went in there and told her I was gonna go lay down, and I had bought like a little ball from Walmart, like one of them big old bouncy balls. I had bought one of those to, I wasn't trying to pay a whole bunch of money for the exercise ball that I'm going to use for like a few weeks. So I might as well pay a little $2 and save my coins. So had got on that, and I started like rolling on it and stuff to try to get her to move on down and try to get things going. And during that time, I was trying to wake my husband up. I'm waking him up, like, I'm getting, like, contractions, like, but they don't hurt, like, really like that. Like, they don't hurt, like, that bad. But they were, like, I don't know, they were, like, kind of irritating, I guess. But they didn't really hurt, but they were getting irritating. So he's, like, half asleep trying to talk to me. And I'm just sitting there doing that for a while. And then I start feeling like I have to go to the bathroom. So I started telling him, like, since I'm getting these contractions and stuff, what if it's the baby's head? Like, I don't want to sit there and try to push her out on the toilet. And, like, I had called the hospital, and I was like, they feel like Braxton Hicks, so when do I come in? Because, like, I don't want to get sent home again, because y'all just be sending me home. And they were like, oh, whenever they get painful to where you can't handle the pain, go ahead and come in at that point. So I said, okay, well, I'll just do that then, whatever. So I had went to the bathroom to try to go or whatever, and I had seen that I was bleeding. So I had went and I told my mom, like, hey, like, I'm bleeding. I told my husband, like, I'm bleeding, like, we gotta go to the hospital to snap. And my mom called the ambulance, because at that point it was like I started feeling like pressure. Like, I started feeling pressure and stuff. So it's like with each contraction, like, it didn't hurt, but the fact that I was feeling the pressure, I was getting freaked out.
Delete those.
Disregard that, my husband on his phone. But being that I was feeling a whole bunch of pressure with the contractions, I was getting freaked out and worried. My mom, she's over here grabbing towels and wash rags, like, I'm finna deliver this baby at home. Boo boo, what you doing? She ain't being born here. I'm going to the hospital. Like, I'm not having no baby here. So, like, that wouldn't have been a bad thing, but I just wasn't prepared for that at all, like, mentally or nothing. I just wasn't prepared to have a home birth. So, the people get there, and they're sitting there trying to figure out how far apart my contractions are, because, like, I wasn't timing them. Like, I was just, like, getting them, but I wasn't paying attention to how close they were. So they're trying to figure out how far apart they are, and they're like, okay, well, let's hurry up and get you to the ambulance before you have another one. So I had one in the house, and then from the point to where we were in the house to the point to where we had got outside to the ambulance, I started getting another one. So they were, like, coming pretty close. So I get into the ambulance or whatever, and I'm cool. Like, I'm just whatever. It's just like the pressure is what's freaking me out, because it's like, I don't know, I was scared, I guess, because I was used to going to the hospital to where I had time to, like, relax, calm down, get prepared for it mentally, all that, get my epidural. Like, I was used to doing it that way. So we end up leaving the apartment complex, and we get, like, a little bit down the road. My husband, he's following us behind in the car, so that way he can go home and check on our boys. So the ambulance ended up stopping because I got another contraction, and I started screaming that I had to push. So of course the EMTs had to check me to see how dilated I was, so they hadn't done that at that point. They were just, trying to get me to the hospital. And whenever that man said that the baby was crying, oh, I lost it at that point. I was just like, I started freaking out. I'm like, no, I can't deliver no baby, like, with no epidural. I can't do this. Like, it's gonna hurt. Freaking out. So, and he was like, well, if you gotta push, you need to push. Sir, get me to the hospital. I'm not pushing in the ambulance. I'm not, no. Like, I feel claustrophobic. There ain't no space in here. Get me to the hospital to where I can push. Get me somewhere where I'm used to giving birth at. Get me to a hospital. So, we ended up going to the hospital. And whenever we had got outside to where they were, like, about to take me into the hospital, I had to start pushing outside because I just couldn't, like, hold off no more. I just had to push. And whenever I felt her head starting to come, I started freaking out, like, oh, I can't do it. This ain't gonna work. I can't do it. It's not gonna happen. Nope. Like, I really had a choice on whether or not I was gonna push my baby out. Like, So, like, shh, be quiet. So, we get into the hospital. They trying to rush me up to the room and everything. And that whole time, I was sitting there just like, no, I'm not gonna push. Nope, not doing it. No, it ain't gonna happen. And the nurse's desk ends up asking me, they're like, oh, are you the one that called? Yeah, I called. The pain never got worse. So I don't know why I was hoping to stay home. Because now I'm in this predicament where I'm 10 centimeters dilated. I could have been here, like, ready, calm down, and ready to go on with the ball game. But now I'm all freaked out and, just a big old mess. And, I know it wasn't, like, really their fault. They were just going by what they had to go by. But it was just, like, I was irritated because I'm, like, about to give birth to a whole baby. And everything just happened within, like, an hour. Like, I'm not ready. So I get into the room, and I'm still saying I'm not going to push her out. Like, she's going to stay in. And then, like, whenever I see my husband come through the door, it's like somebody had flipped the switch. Because after that, I was like, okay, time to push. Let's go. Like, I was ready at that point. And mind you, my water had not broken yet. Like, I was 10 centimeters, my water was still intact. So, the doctor comes in. I don't even think she asked about my water or anything. I guess she assumed it was already broken or something. I don't know. But I started pushing, and mind you, the doctor's like right there in the headshot, like trying to get the baby. I started pushing, and my water ended up breaking, and she moved just in time to get her face out the way. But it broke all over, like, her shoulder and everything. It was, like, all over that. And, like, that made me, like, that kind of, like, took my mind off of me being scared of the pain, I guess. Because I was scared it was going to hurt. Because, like, that's a whole baby coming out of a hoo-ha. Like, I was scared. So, I was focused on that, and we were just, like, all kind of laughing about it. And then I was like, I just keep pushing, and, her head comes out. Now, me, it took a lot out of me. So I'm like, okay, I pushed her out. I'm done. Like, she's here. And then the doctor tells me, no, honey, that was just her head. I said, I was like, I still got more to go? And they were all like, yeah. So, like, that moment was funny. The fact that, it just made me laugh more, which made me feel more calm. That I could, like, push the rest of her out and everything and get that all done with. So she ended up being delivered. It was pretty much a pain-free labor, no epidural, and it still really didn't even hurt. Like, pushing her out, it just felt like, somebody was taking a big old dump. Like, it didn't, I didn't feel like the ring of fire like some people say you feel. I didn't feel all of that. So I don't know if it was because I was distracted or what, but I didn't feel any of that. And but after I ended up having her, the nurse puts me on Pitocin. Because she tried to say I was bleeding too much, but I wasn't. I'm like, lady, this is my third baby. I'm not bleeding too much. Like, I'm good. Like, I was laying on my side, and she kept having me turn over. Like, whenever you're laying on your side and you turn over, you have more blood come out. Like, that's common sense. Like, it's like it's sitting there. So whenever you turn, it's gonna come out. So, but she put me on Pitocin anyway. And I started getting, like, super bad cramps. Like, I couldn't do nothing. Like, I was just, like, I couldn't even hold my baby. And I was so upset because she was crying. I couldn't hold her because I was so afraid I was gonna drop her because those cramps were like they were just like a thousand, like, just horrible. Like, I couldn't even hold my baby, and it would, like, make me so sad because I wanted to do skin to skin with her and everything, but I couldn't because I was scared of dropping her, and I didn't want to, put my baby in danger. So it's like she offered me she offered me a Percocet, but I didn't want to take it. I'm like, no, because I don't want to be all drugged up. Like, I want to, see my baby and spend time with my baby. Like, I didn't waited all this time to see her. Like, I've been praying for her. Like, I wanted a girl so bad. Like, I want to spend time with my baby, and I don't want to be all drugged up or anything. So I'm good. Just take me off of the Pitocin. We can be straight, sis. Like, I don't want it. Like, so I ended up getting, like, switched rooms and everything, and, like, they had to start my IV and all that, of course, because there was no time for that whenever I got there. I was already pushing, so I didn't have an IV or anything at first. So, but we ended up switching rooms to, like, the mother and baby suite, whatever it's called. And then, like, my husband, he's there for a little bit, but I told him to go home with the boys because they're with my mom, by the way, if I didn't, like, include that. But I told him to go home and check on them and everything else and try to get some sleep. That way he could be with them the next day. So, and that way they could all go up there the next day to see the baby. Because I was like, she's pretty much going to be asleep. Like, she's not really going to be awake. So I can just, like, FaceTime you and send you pictures and stuff. But just go ahead and check on them. But this is after he's already spent time with her and stuff. So he went home, and then it was just me and my baby. Like, I don't know, it just felt like afterwards, it kind of felt like I was, like, in a fairy tale. Like, I just couldn't believe I actually had, like, I don't know, like, that whole newborn phase, it just feels like, it's like the greatest feeling ever. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like you just pushed out a whole human that you created. It's just like, it's wonderful. So I was just, like, in love with her, just loving on her the whole time. And, she was a good baby. Like, she would sleep, and she would wake up, and she would want to eat. She wouldn't, like, cry, but she would just be like, whimper whenever she was ready to eat. And I couldn't sleep at all. I was just, like, staring at her the whole time and everything. So, but that's the story on my labor with her. Like I said, it didn't hurt. I started pushing outside because I couldn't hold off no more. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it. And, we in quarantine season, so I'm trying to get more videos. Like, I'm trying to do, like, hauls. I have a haul coming. I'm just waiting on the rest of my stuff to come in so I can do the haul. I plan on doing, like, food-related videos. So, we gonna get these videos rolling out there. So, if y'all like the video, comment if you can, because I know, like, a lot of the videos, the comments are being turned off by YouTube. So comment if you can, and subscribe for the next videos, because I have more that's coming. So I'll see y'all next time.